We got an unbelievable headline today from people whose profession relies on free speech. If you're a journalist and you're in a country that censors you, yeah, good luck doing your job. But the Rolling Stones is saying that cancel culture is good for democracy. I hate the word cancel culture, by the way. It sounds like canceling your Netflix subscription. It sounds like something voluntary and normal. What it actually is, it's persecution. It's not that different to what the Puritans used to do. It's mob justice. There is no arguments to be heard. There is no person being able to defend themselves. No, you have the mob accusing someone and then persecuting them. I do not think this is what a civilized society does. And by the way, it is mostly an American thing and a little bit of a Western European thing. In Eastern Europe, we do not really have this. But okay, fine. So apparently cancel culture is good for democracy. Even Elon Musk was shocked by this, saying that how blatantly obnoxious that they just want to keep canceling people. Do they ever write about music anymore? Oh yeah, it's the title, Rolling. No, they don't, Elon. They do not. Have you listened to music lately? Like, who wants to talk about that? They should rename themselves to the Scolding Stone, as all they seem to do these days is holier than thou nagging. Now, I will tell Elon something. I know he's watching this. I mean, look, I'm the best YouTuber on the platform. Of course, Elon watches me. When it comes to articles in the media, it's just two types of articles. Articles that are meant to slander someone. So they will say, hey, here's a person you've never heard about. Here's a person that up until now you didn't care about. This is why you need to hate them. Okay, so that is one type of articles that the media makes. The other types of articles are puff pieces. In other words, here's a friend of ours. He's got a book to sell. This is why you need to buy the book. And yay and behold. Yay and behold. It's finally here. The case for cancel culture is everywhere where books are sold. I am officially a published author, right? So this is what this article is about. I find it hilarious because not even 10 years ago, you had articles in the mainstream media saying that cancel culture isn't real. What is cancel culture? Can you define it, right? They were completely ignoring the fact that it exists. Now it's like cancel culture is real and this is why it's a good thing. This is why you need it for democracy. If you read the actual article, it says that this is how marginalized people get to have a voice in democracy because in America you have the First Amendment and it allows the bigots, the evil bigots to influence and to spread their hatred, right? By talking, they spew their vile poison, and the solution is to get them fired so that they don't pay taxes and instead they're on welfare. This is complete madness. First of all, the bigots are in government. Like, please tell me what exactly is under cancel culture, like what is politically incorrect, but the Democrats support. Because as far as I notice, right, like every time someone gets canceled, it gets canceled for a policy that the Democrats already have. Like, please name me a policy that Joe Biden supports which is politically incorrect. Please name me a policy that Nancy Pelosi or AOC supports which is politically incorrect. Is there anything that the Democrats do or hold that is politically incorrect? The answer is no. They are in full alignment with political correctness. So you can't say like, oh, well, you know, in this society, we feel unprotected. When not only you have the leadership, the politicians that are in power agreeing with your ideology and your points of view, but on top of that, you have an industry of censorship. I mean, the only reason artificial intelligence in the United States, for example, cannot be made available to the public at an advanced stage is because it lacks censorship. Google, for instance, had access to LaMDA for over 4 years now. The only reason they haven't released it is because they said it's not safe for the public. In other words, it was racist. You have ChatGPT 4, which is already completed and is available for more than 4 months now, but it's not made public because of the same reason. Oh, my safety, my AI ethics. You're talking about text on the screen. And you're already having an industry of censorship trying to make the product accessible to the public, and then it lobotomizes it to a level that it's completely different to what the initial product used to be. Like those of you who have used ChatGPT in the beginning will know the startling difference as to what is now. And the reason is because of the censorship, right? Because they wanted to make it politically correct. And this is just one example that I cherry picked. But there are many examples of this. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, this is a minority and we're being bullied by the overwhelming majority. Really? In the United States? Under the Democrats' reign? I find that really difficult to believe. I would require more evidence. I would require certain cases where it has happened. But no, cancel culture is definitely persecution. And the same argument what you're making here, it's like why cancel culture is good for democracy, you could also make it during the Salem witch trials. And it's like, well, persecution is good for Christianity. Right? It's good for the overwhelming culture because the people in charge, they do not believe in Satanism, they do not believe in witchcraft, but the mob does, right? Like we notice the crops aren't growing, we notice some people are getting sick, so we have to do something. And anyone that looks at cancel culture, you will notice how many times it's abused. Like recently on Twitch, you had certain people that played the video game Hogwarts. One of those people was a VTuber by name of Silver Veil. She got doxxed, she got threatened, she got attacked by people for playing a fucking video game. And this is the type of culture that you support, right? It's really nice. And again, all these people that are supporting cancel culture, they immediately freak out when it's used against them or a product that they like. The moment it's used against a product they like, for example, against Brie Larson for having the Captain Marvel movie, and you have people saying, well, you know, I'm not going to go see it because I disagree with Brie Larson's takes. Oh my god, oh, you pissed baby. Oh, why don't you go pay money to Disney? Haha, why don't you pay money so that you put food on the table of Brie Larson? It's a good movie. Why do you care about what she thinks? But the moment the shoe is on the other foot and they're like, oh, well, let's go harass Silver Veil for playing Hogwarts. Oh, that is so progressive. Oh, that is so good for democracy. Yes. Yeah. These people, okay, do not believe in principles. They're literally just our side, their side. And these arguments are bewildering for normal people. And Elon Musk is basically pointing this out. Like Rolling Stone giving a platform to this author is exactly the reason why that if in the future I find out that a Rolling Stone journalist has some nasty jokes uncovered, like some offense necromancer, some offense archaeologist unearthed some tweets that the Rolling Stone journalist said like 5 or 6 years ago, and people go after to cancel him, this is why I'm not going to defend them. They are digging their own hole. Like when you support this type of stuff, don't be Pikachu face when you see that people are going after you to cancel you because you're creating this culture. And by the way, this actually happened with a lot of second wave feminists, J.K. Rowling included. Speaking about her game, J.K. Rowling was also for cancel culture, and now it's being used against her. Now, if at the time it was more easy to defend against it, but if at the time people would say, no, this is wrong, right? We shouldn't use mob justice because the person that's being mobbed cannot defend themselves, they cannot bring evidence, the punishment is usually disproportionate to what they're doing. If that was the argument then, we wouldn't have this culture. We wouldn't even have it, but back then the argument was like, well, there is no cancel culture. It doesn't even exist. And a couple of years later, not only it exists, but this is why it's a good thing. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.